Do you want to get 15 out of 15 or just get some tips on how to improve your marks? Well, this is the video for you. Let's get to it. It's a role play. You get 2 minutes to speak about a situation that you will be given at the beginning of an exam. They are preset. It'll look something like this. To speak for 2 minutes, although that's not set in stone, what they would prefer you to do in the exams is to be able to answer the questions accurately to get those full marks. When you are preparing and practicing, make sure that for the role play, for the GCSE AQA French role play, you are sticking to 2 minutes. You will then need to take some time to prepare that in the preparation time that you've got. Now, normally for the role play and the photo card, you get 12 minutes preparation time, and I suggest spending 4 minutes on the role play. It's out of 15 marks. You get 10 marks for communication and you get 5 marks for accuracy. How to approach the GCSE French role play card for foundation and higher to get full marks. The first thing to do is get familiar with the card. Read the information at the top so you know the situation, and then translate the bits in French. Translate aloud now, pause if you need to. So hopefully you've translated the things something like this and something like this. And that is the first thing I would recommend that you do. Read the situation so you know the role play situation that you're going to be in, which will help you to focus your mind when you're preparing the bullet points. Double check that, because you don't want to misread that scenario, that situation, because that's going to lose you marks. The next thing you need to be thinking about is you will get 2 marks per bullet point if you give them the information that they're looking for and they understand you. So the things that you want to be focusing on are thinking about your pronunciation. If you want more examples and more practice with your pronunciation, check out the video there. Regularly speak to yourself aloud in French, record yourself and listen back. Get your teacher to listen to you in French and give feedback on your pronunciation. And if they're looking for one detail, like they are in one of the examples, or 2 activities, make sure you just give that 1 example or 2 activities. For the role play, in contrast to the general conversation, they just want you to answer the question. So don't go crazy adding sentence after sentence after sentence for 1 bullet point. That is actually going to probably mark you down because you'll lose marks in the accuracy section. You want to be taking into account each bullet point. So with the bullet points, if you have a question word, answer using the question or have the question word answered. So let's speak about asking questions. If you've put yourself in the situation, so let's say you're talking to a security guard in a supermarket, or you're talking to an exchange partner about learning languages in schools or learning in school subjects in schools. Are you using the correct vous form? Are you using the correct tu form? But how are you going to build your questions? Do you know your question words? If you don't, then go away and look at that. Question words, great. Practice how to structure questions. So really focus on that. Spend some time yourself revising question words. You could use a revision guide to help you, or pose some questions to your teacher, write some down, get them to check it for you. Make sure that you're using a tense appropriate to the situation as well. So make sure you're revising your tenses. Have a look at this video. You'll also get an exclamation mark. So the exclamation mark is an unprepared question that they're looking for a response to, which fits in the situation. So you can practice those with your past papers. So check out this one here from earlier and this one here from earlier. What kind of questions could they potentially ask you? Pause now and have a little think. The questions at the top are my ideas. Did you have something similar? And you're not always going to think of the response or the question that you could be posed. But if you try and plan that into your preparation time, at least you've got an idea, and that will help you to be more confident. And you can always adapt that idea depending on the question that you get. So that's another thing. Don't just prepare your responses. Think about, listen to the question that they're asking you, and make sure that you respond to that question, not necessarily to the one that you've just prepared. Most likely what you prepared will be the answer to the question, but still listen, focus on the question that they're asking you. Think about tu and vous. Tu is used for informal situations, vous for more formal situations. It tells you very clearly on the card which form you have to use. Make sure that the verb follows that pattern. If you need some help with your tenses, do have a look at that video to help you to revise your tenses so that you are able to use the tu and the vous form with a range of different verbs. Write in full sentences as quickly as you can. If there is a bit of vocab that you don't know, don't worry too much about it. Try and fix it, try and figure it out based on the situation. In the actual exam, I think the key thing is you are allowed to take your exam and your notes with you. So if you've written in full sentences, feel free to read them aloud. But if you can, try and sound a little bit natural about it. One of the key things that the AQA examiners are looking for is definitely to answer the questions. So to get the full 2 marks, this is the mark scheme. So to get the full 2 marks, this is what you need to do. If you do get 1 mark, this is what you do in the GCSE French AQA role play. And if I don't understand you, or you don't reply, or you don't answer the question, that's when you get 0 marks. So we're aiming for a slightly detailed response that's accurate, and that's so we can understand you with your pronunciation. Key thing that's going to help you to get those best marks is to practice, practice, practice. So go and find some past papers, or look on my website where you'll find some papers there. So what I recommend is make sure that you're answering the questions accurately to get 10 marks. Practice, practice, practice. And then for those 5 marks, it is difficult to get the full 5 marks, but you're able to get as close to the 5 marks as you can, answering with a slight little bit of detail, ensuring that you're fully accurate grammatically, using the correct vocab, and that your pronunciation is accurate too.
And that was how to get full marks on the GCSE French AQA Roleplay Foundation and Higher Tier papers.